Hi, welcome to Two Non-Doctors. I'm Liz Mealy.
I'm Maria Shahada.
How you doing, Cupcake?
I'm fine. How's it going?
I have this twitch in my eye, and it's been going on for like almost a month now, and it's really bothering me.
That sounds awful. I hate that.
Thank you.
Just the like, and you're like, stop it.
And nobody can see it. I mean, so like there's pros and cons to people being able to see it and not see it. Like if people can see it, they could be like, oh yeah, that looks awful. But then you also don't want people to see you like twitching out. Like,
Yeah.
but like I will be on stage. It's almost like if like my like I'm trying to get better because my wrist vibrates when somebody calls or texts me, and sometimes it can be distracting. So I've been trying to be better
I
about putting
put
like,
mine on airplane mode because I can't do that.
yeah, same. And I it wasn't, I don't know, it just didn't seem like a problem before, and now it's more of a problem. So I've been much better about putting it on like focus or airplane mode or whatever. But now I I can't put my eye on airplane mode. Like I'm on stage and my eye, like I can feel it, and it's just like, so I'm like saying words and I'm like, like I just feel
Oh,
crazy.
I totally, yeah. There's nothing like a twitch that makes you like, you're just like, because even though no one can see it, but it's just it's like if somebody was doing this to you and you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. And I just feel like, and I'm fine and nobody can tell, but I'm distracted and I'm not in the moment and I'm uncomfortable. And it's been going on for like a month now, and it's all because of sleep deprivation. Like I've had Googles about it in previous episodes. So it's like, there's nothing I can do other than sleep, but
Um,
I'm
yeah.
just,
Also caffeine. You can cut out caffeine. I think that should help.
but that's how I'm getting through life right now.
Okay, but okay, well, deal with the twitch. God, that's so unnice of me. Like what a doctor I would be.
Yeah,
Well, then
yeah.
fucking deal with it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You're old, and you're probably gonna die soon, and that'll be a $40 copay.
Lately on
So
stage, like, because I feel like everyone can see the buttons on my teeth from the Invisalign. So I'm so self-conscious of it when I'm on stage. And then I tell myself, like, no one sees it. It's just you. Nobody sees it. I especially because I take my Invisalign out because I still can't talk normally. I don't know if you can hear it, but I definitely still speak with a lisp. Um, but and then I was having dinner with a friend, and at the end of it, I was like, I have to go brush my teeth. I have Invisalign. She's like, yeah, no, I saw the buttons or whatever she called them. And I was like, damn it. I spent all this time
yeah,
trying to tell myself no one sees them. Everybody sees them.
yeah, but it's different from eating close up with somebody and being on stage. I think you're being irrational for people seeing it on stage. Like
Yeah.
you would have to really, it would
I
have to
mean,
be a,
like the Bill Murray where everybody's like right at your feet.
it's still not
Oh,
that close.
okay. I'm sorry about your Twitch. Is it like constant or is it just
It's
like,
not constant, it's random. And that's what really is annoying. Cause I think if it was constant, you just kind of deal with it. But it's like at the most inopportune moments where you're like trying to remember something. Like I'll be like, hey, do you guys, like I'll be at the grocery store, I'll be like, hey, where do you, and it's like da 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 da, and I'm like, never mind, I'll find it. Like I just, it's like,
girl's problem?
it's, yeah, it's just like genuinely at the weirdest times. It just, and I find it so distracting and slightly disorienting. And it's like not a big deal in the scheme of things. It's just been, I'm slowly getting a little bit more sleep. I'm still, now it's not, I don't even think it's jet lag now. Now it's just my schedule sucking. Um, but, but yeah, the exciting news, and this is the dumbest thing that's going to come out of my mouth. I got my dresser finally today.
Yeah.
I ordered my dresser 6 months ago, and it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back. And like they were saying that it wasn't going to come until May. And I was like, and it came today, but I haven't even done anything with it. I like didn't even have time to like put my clothes in it, but I've been wearing like the same 3 shirts because it's just, I've kind of stuffed everything in a closet and it was like too much work and it was dark in there. And now I'm excited to wear 5 outfits because I still wear the same shit every
Yeah,
day.
I know. What, why did it take so long?
I think it was a like supply chain, and then uh, people being home and ordering shit. I think it was like everything at once. Like I think it was like a
Like
lot of
this wasn't like a chain store, furniture store, surely.
it was West Elm. So
Oh,
it's like
that's
nice.
crazy it took so long.
It is crazy it took so long. And it was worth it because like when I found out like they originally said it wasn't coming until February, and I was like, I'm not waiting until February. I'm going to do my clothes. And then I was like, I'm going to find something better. And then I was looking and I was looking and I was looking and I was looking. And then I was like, you know what? You're going to learn to be patient, Liz. I believe in you.
Yeah.
And then as I got closer, I was like, this is great. And then they just kept pushing it further. And I was like, it was really a test, like just all the skills that my parents tried to instill in me. And I was like, but I don't want to wait. Like, I was like, I want my stuff, but it looks really good. And I'm really happy.
I'm excited to see it.
Thank you so much. All I need is a cat and my apartment will be complete.
I think your life should be complete. Like, I feel like
on my own.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you should depend on external sources for your happiness.
Well, I agree. You're wrong. Because things are hard right now and I need things. So
you need your jeans now. I've heard your jokes.
yeah. No, I'm sad now. I will say that I can be happy without things. And I have been happy without things. And I'm currently happy without things. But this is the most I've ever bought things. And I have to say, other than the fact that I hemorrhaged money for like 2 months, other than the lack of money I now have to say things are pretty great.
Things are great. I think I totally agree with you. I don't even know why I'm sitting here trying to be like all zen. There's nothing better.
There's nobody else that I know that appreciates things the way you do. Although you like experiences. And I have to say, like, I like trinkets and stuff. Like, you're like food and enjoying food, and then like yoga or going on trips or massages. Like, you're a experience buyer, and I think I'm more a like, look at this baby shirt for my cat. Like, look at this. Like I'm like I'll buy a candle I don't need.
Yeah.
And be pretty fucking excited about it.
You'll buy a what? I wasn't listening. I was talking.
A candle. It's okay.
Oh, I like candles. About 2.
Yeah. But that being said, I know when I'm buying stuff to feel better. And like, the one thing I've always enjoyed about myself is when I shop with a purpose. So it'll be like, okay, my leather jacket fell apart. I want to replace it. And then I'll just look for it for like 6 months to 2 years. And I won't buy anything else, because all I really need at the store, if I am in the store, is this leather jacket. So I don't go rogue very often. So it's like right now I want an outfit for my special. I'll probably most likely just wear something I already have. But if I go in a store, the whole purpose is because I need to buy something for the taping of the special, but I don't really need any other clothes. So it's like, I do keep on task when I'm in a store for the most part.
Okay.
So I bought all my things. I'm done buying things, which is good because my bank account is like, you got chill. I had a credit card statement when I first moved, and I was like, this can't possibly be right. And I was like doing the math, and I was like, wow, money adds up quick. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, your statement like goes up and down, and like you could just tell your mood based on your statement.
Yeah. It's like a pie chart to who hurt you. You're like, 4 pairs of jeans. He must have not called back.
He's not worth it.
Yeah, it's I weirdly try to combat that when I was sad the other month after like losing tots and losing family and stuff. And I went more restrictive. Like, I was like, I'll control my diet. And weirdly enough, in like controlling my diet and trying to like be healthier, I didn't go the spending route. But also I couldn't really afford to go the spending route, because when I was happy and I moved, for the right reasons, I was trying to buy what I needed. But like, I can't afford sad spending right now.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst position. You're like, sad.
So it's a double level of sad. You're like, I'm sad and I can't even afford to be sad.
Yeah. Well, when I'm sad or I'm trying to get my mind off things, I just watch Netflix. Like, I watch movies and it helps. So I'm like, all you really need is £9 a month or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely did a lot of like binge watching, and that helped. I've been watching the news too much, man.
Yeah,
it's been really bad.
It's really bad.
And it's also like, I'm not watching the news and learning more. I'm just like learning the same shit. You know what I mean? Like you would think I was like a Ukrainian military, like the Ukrainian military, the amount of like, oh, they're now here and they're doing like, I'm just like following this war too closely for somebody that's not enlisting. Like, you know what I mean?
You're like, I don't think you go north.
I love backseat general where I'm just like, guys, where we go? Kyiv, let's defend it. What are we doing? And then
I mean, since like a lot of the people fighting are civilians, it's not that far off. It's people being like, I'm throwing a Molotov cocktail at somebody. Like,
yeah. Well, you know what's kind of cool. So Chris McDougall is a good friend of mine. He wrote Born to Run. And then his second book, when I went on tour with him, was called Natural Born Heroes. And it was about parkour. And what was cool about it is it was basically the history of parkour. And during World War II, Germany and the Nazis were going to go to Crete and Greece, and they were going to take over Crete, use it as like a way to like store all their stuff. They were going to take over Crete in like 2 days, and then they were going to go to Russia. The problem is, even though Crete didn't have a military, man, woman, and child. And they did something weird. They decided to like do only an air attack. Like they didn't do any boat attacks. They went right to the air. So you just literally have Nazis coming out of the sky. So they thought they would take over Crete in 2 days, but man, woman, and child was like strapping knives to broomsticks and like stabbing Nazis out of the sky. Wow. And then it's such a great book. And then basically the reason parkour comes in is that because they knew the mountains and everything so well, basically these people, like these underground military, were like billy goating it all throughout the mountains to kind of get messages to different parts of Crete. And that's how they kind of starved off Germany so long that by the time they did take over Crete, by the time they got to Russia, it was the winter. And they pretty much give Crete credit for like ending World War II, because they delayed them so much that by the time they got to Russia, it was cold. They didn't have, they weren't,
they didn't have the big, like those Russian hats. Like
they didn't have the hats. That's exactly what it said. So they didn't have the hats. They got cold, and they were like, guys, it is frosty here. And then, history, but it kind of made me think of that, like that man, woman, and child is like, let's do this. Like, this is my playground. You're not going to take this over.
That's incredible. Yeah. Yeah.
And I am sorry.
Well, I was going to change news topics.
Yeah, go for it.
Just that, and the like the plane falling out of the sky in China.
That one I had to like, I was like, I'm not on a plane for another week, but I was like, I'm not looking at that.
Yeah. And I don't like when planes fall out of the sky. This is what I worry about when I fly. And this is why I'm texting you going, it's bumpy, Liz, it's bumpy, Liz. And then you go, okay, it's good. You're good. It's on your head. Breathe. Right.
So, okay. 2 questions about this. One, did they say why it fell out of the sky?
Oh, that's the problem. Like I didn't check today, but
I have an alert that's just like airplanes falling out of the sky.
Why and how?
Also, I am a little skeptical of Chinese airlines. There was like a whole article and or book about about cultural stuff. So this is going to come off shitty, but it was in a book. It's not me. But basically, the reason they said, I think in Asian airlines, there's been more issues is because culturally you don't question authority.
Yeah.
So if the co-pilot is like,
because
I think it was, yeah. So I feel less like a shitty person saying this, but basically in other cultures, the co-pilot would be like, hey man, this doesn't look good or da da da. But in Asian cultures, you're not supposed to question authority, and the pilot is the authority. And so then shit sneaks up and then they fall out of the sky. So I know this sounds really bad, but when it's an Asian airline, and I'm not going to Asia very often, I'm less like, it's sad and it's awful, but I'm less like that's going to.
I thought their example was Korean, but maybe it's just like Eastern culture.
Yeah.
The passenger plane plunged. Great alliteration, horrific words. from more than 20,000 feet into a mountainous area. They recovered the black box is the point of this article. Let's see. Captures flight data and cockpit audio. I know what a black box is. It's been badly damaged. Shit. I mean, so I don't know anything. Because like there was a sudden, just like it was just falling because somebody saw a plane falling, but there's no smoke. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But this is why I've suddenly become afraid of flying, because shit like this happens.
Yes, but back to what I always say, of course they report on the one, like there's so many planes all over the world that are fine, and one plane, and you're like, that's why it's unsafe. And the truth of the matter is we don't hear about all the car crashes because it's happening every 2 seconds. So, you know, when
that's true.
It's just the nature of news that it is so newsworthy because it is so rare that's why you know about it. But if you really think about it statistically, that's one flight. That's one flight. The likelihood of it being your flight is it's so low.
It's funny because the same chances I think of becoming like a successful, rich millionaire comedian are the same. That's the same brain that goes, I'm also the person who would be on that flight. You know what I mean?
You're like, I'm going to make it and I'm going to die in a plane crash. And you're like,
it's the same brain thinking like, I will beat the odds in either direction.
And that's actually, I mean, that's so funny. And it's actually, I think it's quite true though, because you have to be delusional to be in show business and to think you're going to be successful in this. And that's important to have a little bit of delusion. But you're right. The same thing that's like, I'm going to make it is like, everything's trying to kill me. Like, it is. It's like, so it's like, of course, like when you do an audition, you're either going to be like, I'm going to get that I was the best person, or you're like, they hate me. I'm never going to work in this town again. Like, it's like, it really just depends on the day of what brain, like what side of your brain chooses what you're going to be that day.
That's why we like fan mail. Should we get into it?
No, we got to do announcements and then we'll do fan mail. Okay. But I like your excitement. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no, great. Solid. Okay. Announcements. Thank you to all our Patreons, everybody that supports us, everybody that contributes. If you don't know, by contributing, you can get early access to episodes. You can get bonus episodes, both weekly and monthly. You can get stickers. You can become a Google guest. You can control our Googles. There are so many lovely benefits to supporting us, and we appreciate it more than we can ever express.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you to everyone who's left us reviews. That's so nice. We love that. Leave us more reviews. You can on Apple Podcasts. I've just fucked my whole announcements by starting differently. This is why I always say the same thing. Just trying to be sincere, and it just comes out and I'm derailed. Anyway, thank you for leaving us reviews. Please leave us a review if you haven't and you want to leave us a nice one. It helps us out. We share it. We love it. It makes us really happy. And you can follow us on the socials. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at 2 Non-Doctors, the number 2, full word doctors. And then on Instagram at 2 Non-DRS. And yeah, my album's out. Thank you to everyone who's bought the album so far and for all the kind words you've sent me about it. I love hearing it. I need to hear it, to be honest. I really need the compliments. So if you have compliments, please share them. And but thanks for checking that out. And yeah, shows. I have some listed on my website. I've been pretty lazy, I'll be honest.
Okay, that's valid. But you're putting out your album and you're putting out clips, and you should subscribe to our YouTube because she has
that too. Yeah.
Awesome clips. And her album's amazing.
Thank you.
I am doing my own taping and by the time this comes out, I think like the week of. So April 3rd, my 7:00 show is sold out, but there's still tickets for the 9:30. It's at New York Comedy Club in New York. And yeah, use the promo code GHOST. It helps me pay for it, as well as gives you a little bit of a discount. So tour stuff coming up: Cleveland, Lexington, Kentucky, Pittsburgh, Massachusetts, Boston, a bunch of cities in Michigan that I decided not to write down, Reno, Sunnyvale, Atlanta, Pensacola, Panama City, San Francisco, and just added DC. And that's pretty much my spring and summer. And yeah, are you ready for fan mail?
Yes. All right. This is from Jean Marie. She says, hey there, non-doctors. I've eaten bugs something like 20 years ago. It was a delicacy from Reunion Island, somewhere near Madagascar-ish, namely wasp larvae.
Yeah. As soon as you hear the word larva, you're like, no.
Wasp larva. They're sort of pureed and uh-oh. You didn't warn me about this email.
Sorry. Also, before we go on, can I just say, like, what a way to fuck up, everybody hates a wasp. What a way to really be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat your babies. So
Yeah. Yeah, they lose. They're sort of pureed and eaten with bread, if I remember well. They tasted nutty, I think, or maybe it is the same as tastes like chicken, i.e. what you say when you're not good at describing what things taste like. I wasn't very brave. My then girlfriend ate more, which I think was due to A, the initial squeamishness of what the hell am I eating? And B, they weren't thoroughly pureed. I'm sure the puree wasn't the issue. Related to eating bugs, I see cat food with insects more and more often, probably dog food too, but I don't look at dog food. My beautiful cat didn't like it that much when she tried 2 years ago. Maybe it's time to try again though. Best wishes, Jam. Oh, and cute picture of the cat. Very cute.
I know. Yeah. I should have warned you both about the description, and an adorable cat was coming up to make up for it. Like, just keep going. You're going to get a cat picture. It's going to blow your mind. Yeah. So 2 things. First thing, I didn't see in all of our research, I never saw anything about wasp larva or really any larva. And I don't know. Maybe it's the word larva. I was just like, it goes back to the mealworms where I'm just like, I don't know. Again, it's texture. I was just,
yeah, I pureed, like, I feel like I could eat bugs if somebody pureed it and didn't tell me.
yeah, of course.
Tried it on some toast and was like, here, do you want some of this? And I'm like maybe it tastes or looks like Marmite. And I go, all right.
What's Marmite?
It's like it's a yeast.
Oh, it's like yeast.
extract. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like people love it or hate it, and it's very divisive. I love it. And so yeah, again, if I didn't know what it was, like, I have a mental block definitely towards the word larva, also towards wasps. And I still
it sounds like it'd be spicy.
The worms that we were given. It was like worms.
Oh, have you tried it yet? I forgot
No,
we're
I
supposed
haven't.
to try that together.
Huh?
I forgot we were supposed to try that together.
Yeah, I'm afraid to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can just save it until we're together again. Yeah, let's wait. Wait for me.
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're just a really good person.
Yeah.
What I thought was awesome is I did not know that they put it in dog food and cat food. And what a great okay, so we were talking about bugs in the episode and about it being like less bad for the environment and a more sustainable kind of meat and protein source. And what a great way to start with what a cat and a dog, that they do have their preferences, by the way. Like, when I had tater tots, like, I got a couple of different things because I was going to find out what he liked. So I'm like getting fish-like stuff. I'm getting, chicken. I think I got turkey, and he would only eat the chicken, and he would only eat a certain type of chicken. And luckily they let you return cat food cans if they're unopened, but I was like, you picky bitch. Like, it was so fucking frustrating. And I think a lot of people, dogs, I would have to be correct. It's been a while since I've had a dog, so I don't know how picky dogs are. I feel like they're less picky. Cats are like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I feel a cat would be like, is that bugs? No. No. Even though, I swear to God, like, my cat never ate a bug. My cat would just chase a bug and torture a bug for hours. Like, just really make a bug give up his social security number and where the treasure's hidden. Like, just real torture.
Yeah.
But no, I was like, oh, I really want to look for like insect cat food just to see. But also, it's one of those things where you got to get one can and find out what kind of cat you have, because they are brats, genuine brats. Also, I wonder what bugs they're using. I wonder if it's the same like grasshoppers, and if it's getting them the same. I'm assuming, I hope so, that it's getting them all the protein and stuff that they need as, little animals, because cats are carnivores. So they eat, the entire animal, and they eat clearly mostly protein. And then dogs are omnivores. Yeah, they're omnivores. They need meat and veggies.
Just picture aliens coming down and feeding bugs to us all. And cats are kind of like, wow, look who's at the same diet as us.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean Marie. Okay, Google's.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Just faking it till you make it really work. So Psychology Today says, yeah, but it can also backfire. Like you can do it if your intentions are good, but you can also be a dickhead. So I'm paraphrasing.
Isn't that like the whole what was that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where he played a guy that like pretended to be a pilot, pretended to be a doctor? I mean, that's a scam artist, but
yeah. Well, I mean, kind of did. It was born of I was watching King of Comedy last night. And have you seen
you're
that
watching
from
what?
1982 with Robert De Niro?
What's it called?
King of Comedy.
No.
It's about a delusional guy who kidnaps a late night TV show host to get on late night TV. And
Oh my God, I relate to this so much.
I'm just kind of like, you got to do what you got to do. You know, it's like the means justify the ends justify the means. But I mean, like,
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't the movie I was expecting because I was kind of expecting a guy who does like stand up and seeing like stand up in the 80s in New York, but he never actually does stand up. He has an act, which I love how the movie just breezes over how he must have written it at home, and you get to see that act at the end. But it's mostly about a delusional guy just pretending he's bigger than he is, and I'm like, it's kind of brilliant because that is mostly this is like what most comedians think anyway, but just times 1,000.
Yeah.
And so and Sandra Bernhard's in it, and she Jerry Lewis like slaps her while she's naked, so it's kind of like he like punches her, and that's not even a disqualifying character. Like it's not even something that would make you hate the character. Do you know? Because she had kidnapped him, and so when he got free, he like
that's valid. I'll give him that.
Okay. And then so anyway, I was like, faking it till you make it work. Like that guy did. It was a movie, but he did. So acting as if is a common prescription in psychotherapy. If you want to feel happier, do what people do. Happy people do, smile. If you want to get more work done, act as if you are a productive person. If you want to have more friends, behave like a friendly person. If you want to improve your relationship, practice being a good partner. Too often we hesitate to spring into action. Instead, we wait until everything feels just right or until we think we're ready. But research shows that changing your behavior first can change the way you think. And they do say that with writing, like even if you don't feel like writing, just start writing and then you train yourself to write. It's like kind of with joke writing. It's like, don't wait till you're inspired, just start writing. Biggest mistake people make, faking it until you make it only works when you correctly identify something within yourself that's holding you back. Behaving like the person you want to become is about changing the way you feel and the way you think. If your motives are to prove your worth to other people, however, your efforts won't be successful. And research shows that this approach actually backfires. People who try to prove their worth to others are more likely to dwell on their shortcomings. Ambitious professionals who wore luxury clothing in an effort to appear successful, and MBA students who wore Rolex watches to increase their self-worth just ended up looking like bigger failures. So it doesn't mean being phony or inauthentic. It just means changing your behavior first and trusting the feelings will follow. As long as your motivation is in the right place, baking it until you make it can effectively make your goals become reality. Just make sure you're interested in changing yourself on the inside, not simply trying to change other people's perceptions of you.
That makes sense though. And I think those are really good examples. If instead of, I mean, what is that cliche, dress for the job you want, not the job you have? And it's like, if wearing a suit gives you the confidence to feel like you deserve the job when you go into the job interview, I get that. That's great. But if putting on the suit for a job you're not qualified, it's, you know what I mean? Like you can't, it's not that big of a jump. So I think in a lot of ways I've instilled the fake it till you make it qualities when it came to stand up, because I would try to feel more comfortable and confident on stage before I actually did. And by kind of pretending I wasn't scared, eventually I wasn't.
Yeah.
I do think there's some stuff that you need to kind of make that mental leap or emotional leap before it actually starts to come to fruition. But I don't know if I've ever done the like, it can't be too big of a jump, I guess is.
Yeah, I think it needs to be adjacent. Like I can't just put on like, I can't just have a podcast called Two Non-Doctors, call it Two Doctors, and then just suddenly be a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. Although we've tried so hard.
But yeah, it's kind of got to be
What are you faking it until you make it? Are you implementing any of these things?
No, not yet, but I feel like I should. Like being a rich person, I wonder if I can fake that till I make it. I've been doing that by spending
Yeah,
on,
you've been doing that your whole life.
yeah, I really do act way richer than I have ever been.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a problem.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if in what area. I know I do it, but I don't know in what areas.
Yeah. Yeah, it mostly came up because I was just like, this guy just like in this movie insisted he was a peer of this late night host, and his means weren't like, it got him landed in jail, but then he got popular after that because of what he did. And it's like, that's what he wanted. So, it's like, was that the worst idea? Maybe I need to kidnap Jimmy Fallon,
No, no, no. Um, you know what's so interesting?
To kind of halt that.
Yeah, no,
Nope, we're
no.
not kidnapping Jimmy Fallon.
No, put the gun and the credit card down. Both of these things are dangerous to you. You know what's interesting about that? I read so many books. So before podcasts, before, all this stuff, there wasn't a lot on how to become a stand-up or, what a stand-up's life was. So I have all these like books, like autobiographies and biographies of comedians from like the 80s and 90s or in the 70s too. So like I loved Mel Brooks and Sid Caesar and all this shit. And all of them were like, Mel Brooks is such a great example. He was like, oh yeah, I just walked into the NBC building and I had my jokes and I said, I know Sid Caesar, and I walked into the elevator and I just handed somebody my joke. Like it was a lot of like line, like stuff you can't do anymore because like those elevators have like a bunch of security guards and passes.
So many people did it back then that they're like,
yeah, but it's because of Mel Brooks.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
because of fucking De Niro doing kidnappy stuff.
But I just wonder if there's something now that can be equivalent. But it's just, yeah.
Well, it's kind of come full circle because in this, if you think about it, the going in the elevator and handing Sid Caesar all your jokes is the equivalent of sending a message to Lady Gaga on Instagram and getting her assistant and being like, I'm the best eyelash maker and I have the perfect big ass eyelashes that I want to sell to Lady Gaga. And if she doesn't have these, she's not going to make it or be the next best.
Right. You could be a chancer more on the internet because you could just start messaging people. And
yeah,
I did that when I moved to London. I reached out to someone at a BBC address, even though I knew it wasn't the right address because I was trying to get on a showcase. And then she, like 2 weeks later, like that person had passed me on and on and on. Like I got passed through people until it landed on the right person's desk. But by then it was like too late to put me on the showcase, but they were like, I want to come see you. And they came to see me at the Comedy Store. Like, not
yeah.
that.
No, but that's 100%. And I've done that. I would make these sketches and I would send it to like, just like the editor at Women's Magazine or something like that. And I would just do all this stuff. And then like, it would take years, but like years later, Runner's World saw this like Runner's thing I did. And I ended up being on like the celebrity back page of Runner's World and doing a corporate gig. And I think we've taken those risks in some ways where I'm just like, I don't exactly even know what I'm trying to do. I just want somebody that might like this to look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great Google.
Thanks.
Okay. So, how do you get campfire smell out of your hair? Shampoo. So
like what? Why is that being Googled?
Because my hair's straight and I didn't want to wash it.
Oh, okay.
And it smells like a campfire.
Okay.
I feel like you're being really disrespectful of my Google. And we've Googled some really
I just feel like that's like such an obvious, just wash your hair. Like, I didn't know you didn't want to wash your hair.
I did. I washed my hair. Then I went to something and I was cold and I stood in front of the fire and I wasn't thinking. And then I got home and I was like, oh no, my just washed hair smells like fire. I'm so mad right now.
Okay.
So, what is interesting about you saying just wash your hair, and that's how I felt, is they actually had two lists. They had a like wash your hair list, and like maybe there's ones that shampoo doesn't do it. And then they had the I don't have water trick. So I'll start with the no water because that was the one I cared about. I have to say it sounds dumb, but I literally was like, kind of mad because I was shooting something the next day. That's the whole reason I straightened my hair, and it was already smelling dirty. But it was like dry shampoo. And I was like, oh yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that have like perfume in it. I have ones that are just like powder that you kind of put in and it just kind of absorbs the oil, but I had just straightened it. So it wasn't oily. So I wasn't thinking, but this was like literally like okay. So the first thing I did without Googling is I have Febreze with no scent. And the whole point of it is absorbs it, but I didn't want to get my hair wet. So I was like spraying it in the air and then like, like trying to get like what you do with like perfume where you walk into it.
Yeah.
So I was like spraying it up and then trying to catch mist of it, hoping, and it did shit.
And I'll delete it. But what were you shooting?
Oh, it's just for the Jed Foundation. I did an interview. Yeah.
Was it so bad that you couldn't be around people?
I'm in a closed area with like a bunch of cameramen. It's usually about 10 people on set. And it still kind of smelled, but it wasn't as bad. It's getting better. But so first thing I did was dry. So I did that Febreze thing. Did not work. Then, you know what? I was very tired. Then I did dry shampoo. I think it took the edge off, but it still wasn't great. The next suggestion was rub a dryer sheet. I did not want to do that. But it is dryer sheet, and mine again are unscented, but I do still think it has, but it's actually good for flyaways and supposed to be whatever. And then I don't know.
Okay.
I just didn't. And I still haven't. And it might be the trick that fixes everything, but I just I for some reason put put like a line in the sand on dryer sheet hair remedies.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. After that is exposed to full sunlight and fresh air. They say for like an hour. So it's funny because my jacket, I sprayed with Febreze and I put outside because my jacket also smells. And I could already see it dissipating in the jacket. But again, this was like, I didn't have time to like twirl in the breeze for an hour. So I was also hoping as I was like walking to the subway and walking to where I was going, I was like, I didn't put a hat on. I was just like genuinely trying to get as much fresh air, and it was windy that day. So I think that helped a little bit, but again, I didn't give it like the full, I should have just sat outside for an hour, but it was cold and I had shit to do. Then if you're like by a campfire and you're trying to preventatively not smell, you should put your hair in a tight bun. So like the less hair it's exposed to, the less we'll get there. And then also just wearing a hoodie or a hat, which I did wear a hoodie, but I really feel like it didn't help. Or I wore a hat, I wore a beanie. And then, there's a bunch of different like ones for like, I guess maybe if shampoo doesn't cut it, which is about like using citrus, like you zest a lemon, lime, or orange peel, put it in a water bottle with water, let it sit for 30 minutes and then spray your hair with it. And maybe these are things where like you don't have shampoo, like you're on a campsite and you weren't planning on, because it is kind of a nauseating smell. Like I went to bed, like I actually washed my sheets the next day because I was like, I don't like that this is on my pillow. Like I don't mind when I'm in front of like a campfire, but I don't need that for days.
What about baking soda?
That is one. I like what you're doing there. So same way that you would use baking soda to absorb smells in like your refrigerator, you can make a baking soda paste. So it could be 1 part baking soda, 3 parts water. You massage it into your wet hair, like in a shower. You let it sit for a couple minutes and then you rinse it. So that is, but yeah. And then there's like apple cider vinegar rinses. You can actually use equal parts vodka and water and spray that in your hair and let it just evaporate out. Like drench your hair. But like, I don't think that's a good use of vodka, and I don't even drink. That's fine. Could you imagine like you're on a camping trip and they're like, hey, where's the vodka? And you're like, smell my hair. Kind of a genius. So yeah, I've definitely cut the smell in half with some of these tactics, but it's still there. It's just not as strong. I just didn't want to be in this room and have this strong, like I was having fun last night vibes.
Yeah. What was Jim Gaffigan's joke? Like somebody smells like smoke. I went to a barbecue. My family had 48 hours to take a shower.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I went to a barbecue on Friday. I had 48 hours to shower and I didn't.
My new flatmate, who I like a lot. she was like, sorry about the popcorn smell, the smell of smoke. I burnt popcorn. And then, and also I will replace the microwave plate, and then sent a picture of our microwave plate that had busted into like 3 or 4 pieces. How do you?
Isn't it a button? It's a button.
It's a, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, our microwave is a little bit older and she may have underestimated it. It's this little like 70s looking thing, but it's strong. And don't leave. Popcorn takes 2-3 minutes tops. You can't leave. She left and then heard the plate explode and came back, and the popcorn, everything. And
it just burnt popcorn in like shards of glass. Like that's killer popcorn. That's
yeah, seriously.
That's murder popcorn. She made murder popcorn.
Yeah, when the plate pops, it's done. And and the place reeks now still. Like like we've had the windows open, and that was like 3 days ago.
What about that remember you got that Febreze? I wonder if just spraying that, because the whole point of Febreze is actually that it doesn't cover smells, it absorbs smells.
Okay, yeah, I might try that. I also think because she threw it away, and that trash that she threw it away and is still in the kitchen, and when you open it, it smells so fucking bad.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta get that trash out of there.
It smells so bad that makes me wonder how bad popcorn is for you. And I don't think it's cancerous until you burn it, but like it's just like it doesn't smell right.
Burn anything. And I like stuff kind of crispy and burnt, but like burnt to shards is just a little bit like, ugh, like this is black is not the right color for eating.
Yeah, like my mom likes corn on the cob that's like charred. She likes the black bits, like the bitter stuff. And I don't. But like, and apparently like if something's black, like toast and charred corn and stuff, like that's what causes cancer.
Oh, cool. Great. Anyway. My mom burns everything. I'm just good to know that I have cancer.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get personal.
Yes. Yeah.
The question is, what are your first date hard stops or like no-goes? And the reason I thought of this question, or not even thought of it, I was on the road with a younger comic, and basically had like 5 probably round trip, like almost 8-9 hours together. And we were just talking and catching up and learning stuff about each other. And that was his question. And I had to say, I really enjoyed his answers and I learned a lot about my answers, but it's not like, it's like definitely red flags, but it's more like exclusively in the first date where you're just like, I'm either going to leave in the middle of this or cut it short, or I'm never going to see this person again.
First date no-goes. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to think about that one. I know bad mouthing one's mother is that there's some obvious ones.
Like most people, like if all of a sudden, if you're just talking about all these shitty people, like if you're just shitting on people, I'm like, how am I not going to be a part of that list so soon?
Right. Yeah. Bad mouthing anyone, being rude to the staff. There's all the like typical ones.
Yeah.
But what were yours?
So, being touchy-feely too soon. Like,
yeah,
like it's a first date. Oftentimes we don't even know what this is, or like, so I had a guy, this was 10 years ago, that I knew him. And this is the first time we were like having a date. And he was a tall guy. He would like grab my ankle, and he was being like silly, but he would like grab my ankle. And then he would like, when we were walking, like his whole arm was on my shoulder. It was just like too touchy-feely, too quick. And I was like, dude, and what's even crazier is you know me, I get very tense. You're not even seeing that I'm tensing up. You're not paying attention to any of my body language. You're not paying attention, and you're on a mission and you're not present. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like this is 100% you have a goal and has nothing to do with what's going on right now. And I don't like that.
Yes. I remember online dating, and I would often cancel the first date out of fear. I wouldn't say it was out of fear. I would have an excuse, but their response was really telling for me, because they're like, okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. And I wouldn't cancel like an hour before the date. You know, I would cancel the day before, like enough time.
Yeah.
It's annoying to have something canceled, but like, I don't owe you my time. So it's like, if you then treat me like I have fucked everything up for you. Like one guy was like, okay, well, you know, I did rearrange plans so that we could go out on this day. And it's just like, I didn't ask you to do any of that, and go fuck forever because I'm
Yeah.
never going to meet up with you now.
I don't owe you. I don't know you, and I don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, it's actually funny. They said somewhere, I forgot, that actually putting a little bit of boundary down is like a good way to kind of see how somebody feels about you. Because if they don't respect your, and it could be as easily as like, it's almost like your joke where you could be like, actually, I feel more comfortable in the booth seat. Is it okay if I sit there? And if they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. Or if they're like, honestly, like, I like the booth seat. Like, you know what I mean? And you're just like, hey man, like, this is a soft question. But like, in general, I actually think that's so important because I don't know you, I don't owe you anything, and if you're going to treat me already like I fucked you over, I'm not doing this, dude. Because that's the other thing, is somebody treating you exactly what the relationship is. So you don't want somebody being like over doting and like all in your whatever and treating you almost like a girlfriend or a wife, because you're like, bitch, I don't know you, this is weird.
Yes.
But then you also don't want somebody to be so callous or flippant that you're not even considered a person. You're like, this is somebody that I'm trying to get to know. I'm making an effort. Because that's the other thing. If somebody doesn't make an effort, you're like, if you're not going to make an effort now, I can't even imagine what you're going to be when we are together for years. Like, fuck that. So it's just like the appropriate amount of attention and effort.
Yeah.
For the situation.
I went out on a first date with a guy. We met in a cute little like cafe, but I made an effort. I wore a skirt. I don't wear skirts, so that's an effort.
Yeah.
He showed up sweaty because he had just played like some, I don't know, football. I don't know what the fuck he was playing, and like sweaty and in like his sports gear. Like,
what?
You smelled.
Yeah.
He smelled bad, and I don't care if that's what this is. I don't care, but let me know so I can keep jeans on.
Yeah.
You know,
I would have also not showered. Like, I didn't know this.
I'd happily not shower. I would have happily worn jeans, a t-shirt, and just, you know, fucking showed up dirty and like whatever. Because you did. So if that's what this is, that's fine. Let's get a cup of coffee and call it a day. But don't like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, we could do a whole episode on this, but my thing is also like, and I have a joke about it. Like, you need to know how to make a conversation. I can make the date good. I can make it so that you're like, wow, it feels like she really understood me and she really got to know me. But if I did all the work and I'm tired afterwards, I'm not doing this again. I want an equal back and forth. I want somebody that's equally trying to get to know me as I am them. But like, I can make it so there are zero lulls. I can do that if I want to.
I know.
But I don't.
Podcast. You're approved.
Yeah. But like, you know what I mean? I don't want to fucking do all the work. And if I'm doing all the work on the first date, I can't imagine that I'm not going to be doing all the work in any other capacity everywhere else.
Yeah. If you can't meet me halfway in a conversation, like what else are you not meeting me halfway with? Like, I hated also in online dating when if a guy just was like, I mean, everyone hates this, but the one word like sup, like, so now I have to do all the work because you've shown the smallest amount of interest.
Yeah.
I have to now. I could just go sup with you, but then you're going to say something stupid and I'm going to have to pick this up. I know. And you've just handed me work.
Yeah.
Like, look at my profile, say something about what I've written in my profile and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it takes such little effort to start a conversation. That's why, like, honestly, I don't know. I weed so many people out before you even get to the first date. There's so much that like, that's why like I have a handful of bad dates and I have a handful of like atrocious dates and I have a handful of like disappointing dates, but I don't have a plethora of bad dates because I'm like, I'm not fucking wasting my time. Yeah. Like I'm not, I don't want to shower. I actually have like a kind of a new joke I'm working on where it's just like, I don't want to shower. I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to put on pants. I don't want to have fun. So if I am going to try to have fun with you, you better show up a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Just come on. So it's like, if I think I'm going to make an effort and it's going to fall flat, I'm not even showing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there is a little bit like, if I showed up, you're already halfway there. Like, just, what are you doing? Keep the ball in the air. What are you doing?
Yeah. I know. But other like red flags, I'm trying to think like once you're on the date.
Once I'm on the date, like if they can't focus, if they're looking at their phone, if they're looking around, if you know what I mean? If this isn't like, it's the same thing if I was going to be in a meeting and I'm interviewing something and they don't seem interested, you're not getting the job. Like,
Yeah.
So it's just like, the same with friends. And this is like a long-term friendship. I want to know that you want to be around me. Like, and don't get me wrong, become comfortable people. Like, we're on our phones all the time, but like, I could be like, hey, Maria, blah, blah, and you'll put your phone down and you give me all your attention. But like, I don't know this person the way I know you. So it's like, if you're already on your phone, like, I don't know how to be like, Maria, you know what I mean? Like, I can't do that with this dude. So it's if you're going to make me strained and make me feel I'm in a position that I have to talk to you in a way that I'm not ready to talk to you, I'm not. No. We should get into topic.
Okay.
Our topic this week is collagen, which I'm so excited about because I just made a big vat of bone broth, which is I'll get into later, but is literally a really good source of collagen and just like a natural way to put it into your system. But I would love to know what you learned about collagen today, Maria.
Okay, so I learned that there are, according to different websites, either 16 types of collagen or 28 types of collagen, but mostly type 1 collagen and type 3 collagen have to do with like the type of collagen in your body. That got very confusing. Collagen is a protein, strong, almost like stronger than steel. Steel.
Which is kind of funny because if it's stronger than steel, they're like, hey, but don't smoke or eat sugar because then it all falls apart. And you're like, all right, man, you gotta stronger than steel, but like don't have too many alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
Or be in the sun.
Yeah, it is real. Like, it's like, so if you eat sugar makes it dry, weak, and brittle. If you drink, if you smoke, all of that kind of contributes to the loss of collagen. And you need collagen for healthy skin, teeth, bones, cartilage, joints. It's all there. And
I feel like it makes things like slippy and supple.
Slippy and supple. I like that. I like the word supple for this.
Thank you. I was really proud of it. It's not a word I use very often.
Complimenting the word supple, but thank you for bringing it into the
slippy and supple. Continue.
So I just bought marine collagen, and then so I looked up what the difference was between like bovine collagen and marine collagen. As
like what? Is a topical thing or as a supplement?
So as a supplement. So they say the topical things are worthless. Like if you have collagen in lotions, it's worthless because collagen is too big to actually be absorbed through your skin. So if they claim to have collagen in lotions, it's just the moisturizer that's doing anything, not the collagen. So it's all supplements, which you can get in powdered form. These are pills, which was dumb of me because I can't swallow.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Can you dump it out? Like, is it something that you can open up and dump out and put on like yogurt or whatever?
I wonder. I'll look into that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This I will say thank you to you for. So as far as bovine and marine collagen go, like one's from cows, one's from fish scales. It's like cow hides and fish scales. The sustainability and the availability and the like bovine's more cost effective, but marine collagen's better for the environment or something like that. But other than that, I don't think there's much of a difference as far as like the effects it has on your skin. Now, I will shut up in a second. You can supplement all of this with your own.
No, I'm learning so much.
They don't really know if supplements work. Like there hasn't been, they think it does. And I know that they do, like they cure osteoarthritis with collagen, but the studies have varied as far as like its effects on like, building your skin back up and making you more youthful. And they also say like, you could just do that through diet and you don't necessarily need to supplement it.
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, I even have a joke in my act where like, I'm like, I take vitamins. We all do stuff that's not real. Like I take the vitamins and so my thing is that I experiment with vitamins and I have seen vitamins help me. But I've also, and I do try to give it at least 3 to 6 months before I go, this is shit. But it's like with a lot of them, you're like, especially when you're looking for it to do something very specific, like it doesn't, I don't know. That's why bone broth, which is a dietary thing, like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to add in the vitamin C, the collagen via bone broth, the minerals, the zinc, whatever it is that is supposed to help build it up. I mean, at the end of the day, as you get older, you lose it. That's what's happening. You're getting older, you're losing it. It's just a general fact. And then on top of it, like we said before, the things that make you, that break down collagen are excessive sunlight, smoking, drinking, and excessive sugar. It just all breaks it down. So I don't think it does feel a little bit like when it's gone, it's gone. But I do think in general, and we have seen it, healthy diet can at least preserve what you already have. And at the very least, there's some studies that say it might be able to build it back up, but you're never going to be 20 again. You're just not. You know what I mean? Because if you were, every celebrity would be doing this instead of, whatever the fuck they're doing.
That's true. Let me just pause real quick because I'm going to get tissues.
So there are stuff that you can do to try to add it in though, and at least support your system a little bit. So collagen is found in animals, and it's concentrated in some parts of an animal, such as the skin and the joints. So they basically say collagen rich foods are bones, skin, ligaments of animals, such as chicken skin and pig knuckle. Cool. Maybe that's why we're not getting any of it.
There was a lot of pig knuckle in Prague.
Oh yeah. Did they look especially young? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Certain types of seafood, such as fish skin and jellyfish, a lot of skin. Which is, whatever. Products made from animal parts such as bones, ligaments. Oh, and then because your body naturally produces collagen from amino acids, you can support collagen production by ensuring that you are eating foods like poultry, fish, beans, and eggs. So I think I actually started eating bone broth pretty consistently, although I stopped for a couple of years and I'm just starting to get back into it. But I was pretty consistent for about 2 years because of the paleo diet, but just in general, because it's supposed to help heal your gut. And that's why I got into bone broth. But it is supposed to be like one of those good things for just like your skin being healthy and slippy and supple. I love this. Okay. So a review of 19 studies that included like over 1,000 participants, 95% women between the ages 20 and 70, found that taking hydrolyzed collagen improves skin hydration, elasticity, and wrinkles compared to placebo treatments. However, keep in mind that many of these studies were funded by companies that manufacture collagen products, which can have influenced the study results.
Very much.
A fucking study. Yeah. Like why like Maybelline and fucking Estee Lauder, they shouldn't be allowed to pay for studies. That's not a study. That's buying information. Like it's just so stupid. Like it shouldn't be allowed to be called a study if the people buying it are influenced by the results. Like it just makes me so mad. But so somebody said this when it comes to like aging and stuff. Somebody said like half of beauty products, it almost doesn't even matter what it's in it. It's just about being consistent. So the idea that if every day you put on a moisturizer and sunscreen, and every day you take off your makeup and wash your face, there's going to be positive results. It's about, and that's one of the things I feel somewhat grateful for, is that I am a pretty regimented and consistent person, but just the act of being consistent and doing it every day is half the battle. It's just that people that wear sunscreen when they remember aren't really going to get the benefits. You know what I mean? Because
that makes sense.
Out every day, or the fact that every time you shower, you dry out your skin. So if you're not putting on moisturizer every day,
I started doing that.
Oh, I'm very proud of you.
Feel body butter after every shower.
And that's the time to do it, because you need a little bit of like moisture to take in the, we've learned this, to take in the actual lotion for it to absorb into your skin.
Yeah. I knew that somewhere along the way, but yeah.
Yeah, no, because we talked about it. We just, everything that we know, we have taught ourselves, and we are doctors. But what I was going to say is I feel oddly fortunate that I had eczema when I was young and I was uncomfortable, because I've gotten in the habit almost every day I put lotion on. And I guess that's not true, because if I don't shower, I don't put lotion on. I'll put it on my hands and stuff and my elbows before I go to bed. But every time I shower, I put lotion on afterwards, whether it's summer or I might change what type of lotion in the summer, but summer or winter, I always do. And I think that's always kind of been helpful. I feel like I've always put on a lotion on my face, but it's been nothing like what I'm doing now, which is like insane. Okay. Bunch of studies. Oh, what is cool is there are pretty good studies about women taking collagen supplements that have helped with bone mineral density, BMD. And that over time, it has actually helped women, like you said, if they are at greater risk for osteoporosis, it's helped post-menopause keep their bone density, which is really important. But they pretty much said, like, if you're a dude, if you're young, if you don't even have a problem with bone density, they don't even know if it helps you. But I don't know. I guess what I've basically learned about collagen is that you need to more protect it than try to get it back, because I don't know how much you can get it back. But it really seems like the only surefire way to build it is through a healthy diet.
Yeah. So don't destroy it and build it. So I guess the summation of this and most, like maybe 90% of health advice is eat healthy. Don't
Eat
smoke,
healthy.
don't drink.
Don't smoke. And you should have started 20 years ago.
Yeah. So it's too late, and enjoy that.
Yeah. I would love to hear from people. I would love to hear if anybody has, like, this almost goes back to like our beauty episode, where like anybody got tricks, anything that they eat or try to get stuff snuck into their diet, like, because they do tell you, like, eat berries and citruses, like there's all this, like, for vitamin C and stuff like that. Like, there's all this stuff that you can do, but like I just started again putting spinach in my eggs. Like, that was something I was consistent about, and then I was like, no, I just want cheese. And it's like, so it takes such little effort to throw it into my eggs. It doesn't destroy my eggs. I actually like it. I was just being lazy. So it's like, what are little tricks that you do to get more collagen, or really just vitamins and minerals into your diet? I like the bone broth. It's a little annoying to make, and like the process of like straining it.
So you have a slow cooker.
Yes, I use a slow cooker probably twice.
Bone marrow.
No. So you can buy bones anywhere. So if you go to a grocery store, people use bones. First of all, it's like the basis of soup. Like, so people use it to make soup. So it's really cheap. Like, you can get like a pound or two of bones anywhere from like $3 to like $7, depending on how much you're getting. Almost every grocery store has them because people use them to like flavor stuff.
Yeah.
So really, it's really cheap. And that's why, like, I think it's stupid to like buy, and it's so much better when you make it yourself. I know that's crazy, but like, I have not liked one version of store-bought bone broth, and I won't.
Weird, isn't it? I don't know what it is. Like, do they put a bit of sugar in it, or what is it? Like, it's never as good.
It's really gross. And I don't know if it's keeping it, the preservatives or something.
Yeah.
I find it disgusting. I've only liked the bone broth I've made, or when it's a store that, like, that's their thing. It's like our restaurant, that's their thing, and they make it. So it's super cheap to make. It's just a little annoying. So we're talking about, it's literally bones, apple cider vinegar, salt, and then I put and then garlic, like a whole clove of garlic. You smash it, put it in there. I put an onion in there. I put some carrots. I put some celery. I've done it where you do it for the full 24 hours. I think it doesn't taste as good. I do it about 16 hours. So you basically, and like, I can put the recipe on there if people want it, but basically you get it until it boils. Once it gets to boil, you put it on like just regular, cooking. You do that for 16 hours, and then you strain it, and then you bottle it. And then when you bottle it, after it starts to get cold, all the fat rises to the top, and you can just like pluck the fat off. I reheat it and I drink it like it's tea.
Yeah. I made it, but like, it was pho. Like, so I put like star anise and stuff in it. It was very good.
That's great. Yeah. And I don't think it doesn't matter how and you can make it into a base of a soup and get it that way. And then I was talking about, on previous episodes, I was making gelatin. So you can take gelatin, which is also good for collagen and stuff like that. And I was making like green tea Jello, and I would just sweeten it with, yeah, it was fun. I made
that,
and she really liked it. So I did that for a little bit. So what I was doing is I would have bone broth in the morning, and then I would have like a piece of like green tea Jello at night.
Great.
Yeah. I'm just out here building collagen. So, okay. If anybody has tips or tricks, if anybody, like, their skin looks incredible, they're like in their 50s and they want to tell us what they did, even though it's too late for us, you can write to us. Where can they write to us, Maria?
at twonondoctors@gmail.com. That's the number 2 _doctors@gmail.com. And thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.